All right, so welcome to our video, folks. As you can see here, I got a couple of different things going on all at once. So hopefully this video, again, is finding you well. With that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take this kind of one by one. So the triangle inequality, basically what we're doing here is we're just going to, you can go ahead and navigate to it. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and do that triangle inequality. Type that into Desmos. We also have the URL here as well, so you can go ahead and kind of copy that in. Otherwise, I kind of got started here a little bit early, so it says yes and no for the first one, so 2, 3, and 4. So what you're going to do here is you're basically just going to kind of navigate the screen a little bit, and I kind of went away there, sorry, but just kind of see how it works. So basically you have A, B, and C, and what you're going to try to do is you're just going to try to match these points up to make a triangle. And this was the one that didn't work. So as you can see, they don't line up perfectly. And again, they have to line up perfectly. If they're not on top of each other, it does not make a triangle. And some of them are going to be a little bit close. Now, if I did the other one, which I did here, which is 2, 3, and 4, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of match these up a little bit so you kind of see how, again, they work a little bit now. And as you can see, those kind of match up perfectly. I know they're not perfect, but these do make a triangle. So you're going to just kind of go through these, yes, no, and kind of go from there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go, make sure you just do it, and then I'll just, you can pause the video and then you can kind of come back once you do. So then that way, again, you can kind of jump in. So here's my thing again, so then that way, again, you can kind of screen record. I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller here if I can. Sorry about this. Oops, maybe not. Hey, technology, folks. I do my best. All right. So as you can see in my video here, what we're going to do then is we're just going to kind of fill this in. So again, if you are all done, that's great. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and go. So the third one down, 2, 3, and 7. That one is going to be a no. And hopefully, again, you tried it out when you did. The next one, 2, 3, and 8. This one's also going to be a no. 2, 4, and 6. That's going to be a yes. Next one, 2, 4, and 7. That one's also going to be a no. 2, 5, and 7. That's going to be a no. 2, 5, and 8. Also no. 7, 9, and 8. That's going to be a yes. 3, 4, and 5 are going to be a yes. 3, 4, and 7. That's no. 3, 4, 8. No as well again. 3, 5, and 7, that's a yes. 3, 5, and 8, that's a no. 3, 5, and 10, that is a no. 3, 7, and 8, that is a yes. Almost done. 4, 5, and 7, that's a yes. 4, 5, and 8, yes. 4, 5, 9, no. 4, 9, 12, yes. And 12, 7, and 8, yes. All right, so here is the entire list. Again, some of them are very, very close, folks, so just keep that in mind. Again, the overall goal is to kind of get the pattern, and hopefully, again, you start to see that kind of pattern. So if I'm looking at all my yeses, I'm looking at 2, 3, and 4, right? And then I'm looking at the values for 2, 4, and 5. And then I look at the values for 2, 7, and 8. All of the values, if you look, it says, look at the measurements for what did. So what did you notice? Well, in this case, the small and the medium, when you add them together or find the sum, so the sum of them, in this case, those values are going to make a triangle. So in this case, the sum of them means that they are greater than the large side. So that's the cool thing about this, and it works for any kind of triangle, so long as they are not equal. So if I'm looking there, it says look at the measurements that did not, in this case the small and the medium, were less than, or the sum of them were less than, or equal to large side. So in other words, again, for it to make a triangle, the small and the medium have to be added together, and they have to be bigger than the large side. That's kind of the big. So it says write a rule that will allow you to determine a set of measurements that will form that triangle. Well, in this case, again, if we kind of keep that same mojo going, we can do small plus medium has to be greater than large. Okay, so that's kind of the idea of the whole thing. So in this case, again, when we have that small, medium, large, and again, it cannot be equal, folks. The equal sign, obviously, in this case, will not give it. So, all right, what you can do is go ahead and flip on the backside. For number 5, then, it says use the E tool to find the restriction of the 3 side lengths that can form a triangle. So if 2 sides of a triangle are 5 and 12 inches long, what is the longest possible side that you can have? So what you can do is you can go ahead and kind of practice with this. So I can kind of practice here. So